Hello everyone, I am a bit late on this, but welcome to the 10K subscriber Q&A special. Before we get into talking about the questions and things, I just wanted to say thank you so much for getting me to 10K subscribers. This is something that I was expecting to never really get my way to, and I'm just really fortunate to have a community that is, I don't know, I feel really happy to be in the position that I am now, and I don't know how to express that very well, aside from just a genuine, heartfelt thank you from me. And I hope that I can keep making content and keep doing this, maybe even go full time with it and everything from here. In the meantime as well, I wanted to update you all on the username of this channel, which is something that we'll probably get into later down the line, but I can't keep being a shiny Sylveon. Even though Sylveon's my favorite Pokemon and everything, I can't keep using that name as my primary username on the website, specifically because I'm worried about getting hit with copyright from Nintendo. And if you see a lot of other YouTube content creators who do Pokemon stuff, they typically have a Pokemon as their profile picture at most, or they're named something else in combination with a Pokemon. They're not literally just named a Pokemon with the avatar. So the username that I'm going to be switching to is Shiny Cat May, because my name is May. And that's the design. Here's my ref sheet, and here's my profile picture, which also goes hand in hand with one of the most common questions that I've received is, are you a furry?
Is it not obvious? Is it really that obvious?
There's a lot of people who have asked this. I think that should clear it up pretty heavily for you, but yes, absolutely, all the way through, and that should pretty much solidify that answer in there. Can I kill you? Yeah, sure. What is your favorite animal? I'd say that my favorite animal is the one that I partially modeled my persona off of, which is the clouded leopard. Clouded leopards are so cool looking cats, but they're absolutely adorable little creatures as well. When you kind of like, they're not the most feral kind of cat. They're a little docile. They're cute little fellas. They have big massive tails that they can use to climb around on trees and stuff, and they're like jaguars, but really neat designs on their coats and things. And yeah, I don't know, I really like them. I think that clouded leopards are really cool animals, and I actually want to go up to Point Defiance in Tacoma and see some clouded leopards, because I know they have a conservation project up there, because they are considered an endangered species because they get poached quite frequently in their natural habitats for their pelts. So yeah, what's your favorite color was another one that was asked quite a bit by a wide variety of people. I'd say that pink is probably my favorite color. I mean, you can see I'm wearing a pink shirt. I've got the Sylveon kind of motif on stuff. You can see my keyboard is flashing in between pink and blue. I got a little pink wrist pads so that I'm not like, you know, bending my wrist whenever. I like pink. I like pink quite a bit. You can see that there's a lot of like similar theming that goes on there. If not, I'm a big fan of purple as well, but pink is definitely at the center of all that. Sorry if this is too personal from Autonomous, but how did you realize you were non-binary? It was a really interesting but kind of funny series of circumstances where a few years ago I said to a few of my friends, like, you know, I want to try to look a little bit more feminine, because I just want to like try and blend the lines in between male and female, because I think it would be funny to confuse people. I said something to that effect. At the time, totally thought, yeah, that's a normal straight thought to have. A number of months later, like down the line, as I started looking into queer identities and everything, I realized that, oh, I actually adhere more to this definition of a person. So that's how I discovered that, and it's been an interesting journey so far. I've been really trying to get myself back into shape and everything so that I can really sell the non-binary look a little bit more. But you know, I am that way, and then hopefully I also kind of use that as like an inspiration to make myself look even better. And so that's also like, was my first, oh, I might not be cis moment, was pretty much exactly that. From there, not just cis, but also pan. Initially, I thought that I was ace for a while, because I was like, oh, you know, it's bad to feel attraction, you know, based off of religious upbringing, where the idea is that attraction is naturally not a great thing. It's like sinful in a way to look at people and be like, damn, that person's attractive. To the point where I completely tried to shut myself out of it, because I just felt bad for feeling attracted to everyone. But now that I'm older, it's like, okay, no, that's actually a natural part of life. And my most recent relationship was with a trans man. So I don't know. I was like, oh, I don't even care what kind of identity at this point. I think everyone's pretty cool. Why Sylveon and why a shiny one? Sylveon's my favorite Pokemon. I don't know why it like permanently altered my brain chemicals, but I have like, you know, little plushies on my shelf of Sylveon and things like that. Like I love this. You can even see my jacket has like Sylveon in the shirt here and then Sylveon on the jacket here, and I got Sylveon design on the back as well. If I turn around to show you, you got Sylveon on the back there. I don't know why I really started getting into this Pokemon specifically, but it was just something about the way that it was. Because of Eevee being able to be 87.5% male, Sylveon also has a really high chance of being male as well. Due to that fact, I was like, oh, that's kind of fun that you can be cutesy but also be male at the same time. And that's where I started really enjoying the Pokemon. And then I, you know, just kind of grew to love it over time. And specifically, I chose a shiny Sylveon for this YouTube channel name because initially, my first channel, the one that I'm probably not going to be using anymore, is called Sojourner Kai. I had a Sylveon as a mascot on that one. And then when I went to make a more anonymous commentary channel, I didn't want to be Sojourner Kai anymore. I wanted to be a shiny Sylveon, because I was like, well, I can't just be a Sylveon, I have to be something a little bit unique. Well, let's just do a shiny Sylveon. I'm just going to make commentary videos, it's not like it's going to go anywhere, and whoopsies, here we fucking are. It wasn't really like any dedicated thought to it, it was just, I like Sylveon, a shiny one is slightly different from the regular one that you have. So there's the username. Your favorite and second favorite Pokemon? I mean, we've already talked about the favorite one pretty much in depth. I am literally wearing merch with it emblazoned on the sleeves and back. But my second favorite Pokemon, I would have to say, second favorite Pokemon would probably be Vulpix. I don't know, I find Vulpix really cute. I remember watching the Pokemon episode with Vulpix at its center, and I thought that was a really cute Pokemon. So I think Vulpix was one of my favorites for a really long time before Sylveon, because Sylveon, of course, came out with Generation 6, which was in 2013, and I had been watching and enjoying Pokemon in the years leading up to that. So it wasn't until Sylveon that I had been locked into my favorite Pokemon. A lot of people also ask me what got you interested in DBD. So initially when I first started playing DBD, I installed it in 2018 because I was playing with a bunch of friends who all wanted to play Survivor games. I played about 60 hours of the game at the time. I was like, wow, this shit is ass. Then my cousin, who goes by Unholy, he, around the Xenomorph chapter release, he said, hey, I saw what you said about Dead by Daylight, and I think you should give the game another try. And so I did. I gave the game another try, and that was in the fall of 2023, and I just kind of loved it ever since. And now, again, here we are. History, just the rest is history. Why Deathslinger, Kuromi asks. I think part of it has to do with the fact that I have 2,000 hours in Rainbow Six Siege, but also part of it has to do with the inherently satisfying sound design, and I actually really like the cowboy bounty hunter kind of look. I think it's probably one of my favorite character archetypes just in any media ever. They can look so intimidating and so cool, and then you play Deathslinger and all of the ways that the sounds work together just feels so immensely satisfying. So it was a combination of character looks cool, and he sounds cool, and he feels really cool to play, and then you find out that every map plays differently with him, and every survivor plays differently around him, so you have to make mini adjustments every single game to the point where every game is, you know, balanced on a knife's edge, and every game is a challenge in a way. That's what makes me really like Deathslinger now. Initially, I started off with liking Deathslinger because, you know, FPS titles, but then the more that I got into him, I realized the more that I actually just love this character. What are your favorite Deathslinger cosmetic combos? The one that I'm running right now, which is the Anniversary Mask combined with the mobile, DVD Mobile Rest in Peace skin, is probably my go-to. I like how the gold on the face mask replicates against the gold of, or the bronze of the chest plate, and the kind of close, tight look of it and everything all across the board. If I were to say I wanted to replace the body though, someone recently opened up my mind to the Frontier Vigilante, which gives it more of a faded leather look, and I think that faded leather with the gold also looks really good overall. As far as gun skins go, I don't really know too many that I enjoy, mostly because I use the default gun skin all the time because it's the only accurate gun that Deathslinger has. So that's a whole nother can of worms to get into. So I don't know. I don't think I really have a gun specifically, but that mask and that shirt are probably my favorite ones. Are you always chill like that in DBD matches, or sometimes you crash out? I think pretty infamously, I do have a couple of moments where I crash out, but it's never at a player or anything. It's always at the game itself. There was a game that I played recently on stream on like the 3rd of August where I got sent to Hawkins by the game itself. The game just random RNG gave me Hawkins, and in the Hawkins game I got hit rejected. I had people pre-running me the entire game. I couldn't see because they were using files. It was like everything that could have possibly gone wrong. And also Hawkins is just a map that I hate playing on. Everything that could have possibly gone wrong in that match just got to me, and I got so pissed off about that game, specifically because I hate the map, not because the players were playing it incorrectly or anything like that, or like, oh, my rulebook states that you can't pre-run to pallets or anything like that. But obviously they want to survive, you know, they want to waste my time as much as possible. That's how they're supposed to play. The thing that I hate is the Hawkins Laboratory map, and things like that or some specific killers will cause me to crash out, but it's not a frequent thing. It's like 1 in every 20 games at most. No, I had the desync again! I have 40 ping! It's not a ping issue! Oh my god. God dang it, dude. God, it's this fucking map, man. A lot of people also ask me, are there other killers that you enjoy playing? Yeah, there's actually a tier list that I have about all of the killers, ranked by how much I actually enjoy playing them, but my favorite ones are probably, of course, like Deathslinger, Nemesis, Singularity, Xenomorph is pretty high up there right now, and among a couple others, but I'll play pretty much anything outside of Trickster, Hillbilly, and Vecna at this point in time. When will the 800-page Deathslinger guide be released? I'm working on a guide right now. I'm working on 2 guides. One's going to be one that's just like everything you need to know about playing Deathslinger, from your number breakdowns to actually playing him properly. But then the second one that I'm working on is specifically how Deathslinger works around specific pallets and recognizing, okay, this is a pallet that I can drag people around. This is how I need to position in order to get this damage state off. And it's all very situational, so that video in and of itself is already, I think, 20 minutes? I'm gonna say around 20 minutes of audio, unedited audio without clips, already ready to go. I need to finish writing that one, but I have stuff that I'm working on for that. I just need to have more time, which is why I put in my 2 weeks at my work, because I want to be able to do this full time, and I want to have more time to write and finalize my ideas and actually have good examples to give people, because I like sharing knowledge. I like sharing information that I learned about this game with people, and that's hopefully what I communicate going forward. What killer would you remove from the game, and why is it Clown? I think this was actually posted before the Clown buffs went through fully, so it's really funny that that's out there. But the killer that I would actually remove from the game would be the Trickster. Because I think that he sucks. I hate using his power. I just kind of hate his general play style, and I wish that he just never really existed, because he's just not fun in a lot of ways. His perks are great. I'll keep his perks, but the rest of them, nah, take him out of here. Don't want to see the Trickster ever again. If you were snatched by the entity and became a killer, what would your 3 teachable perks be, and what would they do? Brady actually asked this initially on the 5K Q&A that I never did, because I thought, oh, well, I don't have time to do this right now, but now that we're at 10K, I have to honor this. And I actually came up with 3 perks. I would be a killer. My first perk would be endless chattering, and I've made up like descriptions and everything for this. So endless chattering: your insatiable appetite for endlessly yapping half-spoken sentences unsettles those around you. When a survivor is within 16 meters of your location and performs a rushed action, they become oblivious for 45 seconds, and they have like new audio of laughing and distorted running dialogue that plays, and this perk now has a 30-second cooldown. Captive audience: you know how to draw in a crowd and keep them around forever. When the exit gates are powered, they regress at a rate of 25% opening speed down to 25% of the total progress bar. If a survivor spends more than 10 seconds in the exit gate, the exits will be blocked by the entity for 20 seconds. This is kind of like the just leave perk, you know, Blood Warden, but with no activation requirement. But I figured like 20 seconds is a lot shorter than 60, and it doesn't pull people back with a hook. And it also requires someone to spend a ton of time in the exit gate, so if they haven't just left, then they get blocked and they won't be able to leave. So open your exit gates and leave, and if you don't just leave, then the entity will prevent you from leaving because you've been my captive audience. Posture check. After a survivor is unhooked, they will be faced with a difficult skill check. If they miss the skill check, they will receive the broken and blindness status effects for 70 seconds. You know, something simple. This is my anti-Windows of Opportunity perk as well. But yeah, those would be my perks if I were a killer in Dead by Daylight. A lot of people also ask, do you have other games you enjoy, and would you ever do variety content? I would like to do variety content, but here's the secret about Dead by Daylight stuff, is that people who play Dead by Daylight and watch Dead by Daylight content only play Dead by Daylight and only watch Dead by Daylight content. So doing variety stuff for me right now is kind of impossible because I'm so locked into this category, and not to mention the fact that by changing my username in the months to come, I'm going to see a pretty significant dip in viewership because people aren't going to recognize the channel name anymore. And so doing variety content kind of feels like career suicide in a way, and I don't want that to happen. But I do enjoy other games. I enjoy a lot of indie games. I enjoy a lot of platforming stuff. I enjoy just playing games in general. If I had more time, I would have more time to enjoy more games, and I would do variety content. I want to do playthroughs, or at least highlighted playthroughs of some horror games, because I've not played a lot of horror games. In fact, I have not played a single Resident Evil game. I have not played a single Silent Hill game. Most of the properties actually in Dead by Daylight, I've spent more hours playing their respective killers than I have ever been playing any of their games. What got you into R6? Is it similar to the reason for Dead by Daylight or something else? Yeah, so kind of. When I first started really like gaming on PC stuff, because I initially was just like, you know, play Wii at the house or whatever. When I really started gaming on PC stuff, on laptops and all, I got into League of Legends. And League of Legends I really enjoyed for the variety of characters that you can pick from, and the different build ideas, and the kind of overall diversity of that game. Then you translate that into Overwatch, and then you translate that into DBD. All of these have games that are widely customizable, that they have a bunch of different characters that you can play. Was this character not working for you last game, or was this build not working for you last game? Well, you can just switch it up. You can choose whatever the hell you want. And so Rainbow Six is the same way, where every single round of Rainbow Six can play differently. Last round, it didn't really work well for a hard breacher because nobody was watching flank, and you didn't have the right slots to, or the right characters to watch for those flex locations. And now when you play a flex character the next round, maybe things will go a little bit better because you've adapted to the way that your opponent is playing. So it's kind of like DBD in the customizability, or the reason why I like it is because of how many like micro decisions go into actually winning a proper round. Rio asks, which Rainbow Six operator would you port into DBD as a killer, keeping their ability as intact and accurate as possible? I think Fender is probably the easiest one to port in, because he's literally just releasing a fear gas on a trap mine, which I think would be really interesting to run into in Dead by Daylight. I mean, they already have the fog vials. Now we got to give the killers fog vials, right? By giving them the Fenrir operator. What is your favorite game to play when not for a video, if any? I would say that my favorite game to play not for a video now, well, my favorite game of all time is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, but my favorite game to play not for a video right now might be Peak. Peak is a lot of fun, just a lot of like really kind of laid back but puzzle solving in a way. And if it's not Peak, then I'll probably play some other online game. I play League a lot still nowadays even, and then, so that's like something fun to always just kind of go back to for me. Will you finally play Baldur's Gate 3? I have close to 80 hours in Baldur's Gate 3, and I have never completed the game because I keep resetting and making new save files and being like, oh, but what if I did this as a bard? Or what if I did this as a wizard? My furthest character, the furthest along in the campaign that I've gotten with any one character, is with a ice wizard, dragonborn named Kemrinth, and Kemrinth is, we're kind of in a shit spot right now. We're partway through Act 2 right now. I don't think I've even gotten to Act 3. But yeah, that's what I've been, whenever I do play Baldur's Gate 3, that's probably going to be my next save file, is to try and complete that one. So I have played it, I've just never played it on stream. Also, I never played it on stream because my PC before wasn't strong enough to play it on stream. Like, I couldn't run OBS and Baldur's Gate 3 at the same time, so we're moving up in the world. Is there a roguelike game you might be interested in playing as soon as one-off at some point in the future? And what would the game be, and why is it Binding of Isaac? Well, I actually have 250 hours in Binding of Isaac as well. So I might play that just kind of as a chill stream as well. I haven't played Binding of Isaac in a very long time, so it would be a little bit of a shock getting back into it because the controls are a little bit clunky when you first play it again, but Binding of Isaac would be a good one to get back into. If not, I'd probably play Darkest Dungeon, complete Darkest Dungeon 2, because I think I beat the first chapter in Darkest Dungeon 2, but I still have 4 more to go there. And Darkest Dungeon 1, I've never actually beat the Darkest Dungeon, because I've been always modding it and getting in new character files and, you know, oh, I want to try out what this character feels like, and then I'm scared to lose them to the Darkest Dungeon. Either way, that's probably what I'd play on stream. Who's your favorite Twitch and YouTube DBD personality other than yourself? And who would you like to dream of a collab with in the future? Would you even do collabs? I would like to do collabs, but I don't know what they look like, because a lot of the content that I've always done myself has been pretty heavily centered around me. And it's not like in the narcissistic way, it's more in the sense that I don't tend to leave a lot of space for other people to interject. And so I don't know how to play well with others in that way. Not to say that I can't learn or that I would be not open to collabs or anything. I'm just saying that it's not something that I've ever considered, because all the stuff that I do is I'm always doing everything because I don't know how to work with other people very well. But I could try something. And I'd say that my favorite Twitch or YouTube DVD personality, I don't know. I meet a lot of really lovely people in that way. So I don't want to give like a specific answer, because I'd feel bad, you know, singling one person out and then being like, oh, but what about all these other people that you've met, or all these other people that you could interact with? I don't know. I don't want to like single anyone out. I'd be open to any collabs really at a certain point. And I think it would just be cool to kind of get together with more people in the DVD community in general, but I don't know how to do that because I don't feel significant enough, I guess. What's your favorite kind of sandwich? I can't eat sandwiches because I'm allergic to gluten. However, there is a really good breakfast sandwich that this local cafe makes that has gluten-free bread, so I'd probably go with that one. And then Shabo finally asks, if you could add a non-horror killer into DBD, who would it be? You know, it's hard to say, because I think a lot of the killers in Dead by Daylight are from more horrific properties overall, and so trying to branch out away from that makes it a difficult decision. That being said, it would be really cool if we got the ancestor from Darkest Dungeon in DBD. I think that would be a really cool character to add in here. Just really kind of work into that cosmic horror kind of look. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't played Darkest Dungeon all the way through, but that would be a really cool character for me to add. And that's gonna be it for the 10K Q&A. I mean, we're at 11K. We might even be at 12K by the time I finish editing this video. But I want to say thank you guys again so much for listening to me ramble in many other videos and choosing to subscribe and stick around for here. Again, like I said, name changes are going to be coming through. I'm going to be Shiny Cat May in the next couple of months. I'll let you know an exact date when that does finally come out. I do also stream on Twitch. I have a YouTube streaming channel that you can also check out, alongside a Discord and my other social medias if you want to keep up with me a little bit more regularly. And with that all being said, thanks again for being here. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye.